Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I know it's been a while, and this is not a video which I usually make, but I am not someone who gives good advices. But in this case, I felt like I could help out many people because once you're done with your school and you get into uni, one of the most important and essential stationery items you need is a calculator, right? And let's be honest, there are way too many calculators out there. Some are being passed on from their elder siblings, some are being sold as old stocks, some are new. There are so many different varieties and models. So I thought I could just give you my personal review and opinion on which calculator to go and why, and you could take the decision by yourself. And I hope this video helps. So obviously the next question was, how will I get all these different types of calculators? And I came to a genius solution, which is I went around my class and checked with my classmates with the calculators which they had, and I got all the different types of calculators which I could find. And so I have all these different varieties of calculators which I could find, and I'll show you each one of them. Okay. So these are all the calculators which I could find, all the colors, all the varieties, all the models, all these right here. So we'll be starting off with the Casio FX991CW, which is one of the best and one of the latest calculators which you can buy. One thing I do not like is the case which it comes with. It's not really easy to remove and put it on all the time. And any calculator which you are looking for, just go to the mode and check all the functions which you can do. And this very specific calculator has 540 plus functions, which is more than enough for our uni studies, and this is one of the best. Next up, we have a Casio FX991EX, and this is one calculator which I would not recommend to buy because despite having a lot of functions, this cannot be used for a hardcore subjects, and it's not the latest either, so skip this, okay? Next up, we have an old calculator actually. This is the Casio FX991ES Plus Gen 1. So the first three calculators you see from the left, the blue, pink and black, are basically the same calculator which I'm holding right now, but the second generation. So as you can see, I have the second generation and the first generation together. They look very different, and despite having very similar functions, I would not recommend this calculator because despite having all these functions as well, this is kind of slow and kind of outdated. So it's better and the best option to go for the latest one. Next up is a calculator which you should not buy at any cost. This is the Casio FX100MS. And as you can see, it does not have any functions at all. You could just do like some simple basic mathematic problems, and that's pretty much it. Do not buy that at any cost. Speaking of which, let me introduce our next calculator, which is none other than the Casio FX991MS. You should be very careful of this calculator because this is pretty much like the previous one. It cannot do anything at all, but it looks very similar to the FX911ES. So people kind of mistake this for the other one and end up buying this, and you cannot do anything other than normal simple calculations. So buying this would be useless. So beware of those. Last but not the least, I have the Casio FX991ES Plus second generation. As you can see, they come in three color variants: blue, pink and black. And I believe this is one of the most user-friendly calculators to have with a lot of functions. I believe this has almost 417 functions, which is more than enough for your daily use and which is pretty user-friendly as well. So we understood that we should absolutely avoid the 991MS and its bulky sibling, the 100MS, at any cost. We have the 911EX, which is pretty okay, but due to its middle-aged character and being kind of outdated, we'll avoid that as well. Speaking of which, we have the Gen 1 991ES Plus, which still runs as a champ, but overall, meh. Because it's old and kind of outdated, we would be facing some kind of reliability issues, and I think it's better to go for its younger sibling, the 991ES Plus second generation. Okay, so after that whole analysis, you guys should know which to not go for at all, which is kind of okay, and which is the perfect choice. So after a whole analysis, we finally came to two calculators actually. One is the FX900ES Plus second generation, and obviously the goated FX900CW. So which one should you get from these? Let me show you. Alright, so I have the 991CW. and the 991 ES Plus. Both are brand new. To start things off, the 991 ES Plus is a bit cheaper actually, which comes at 1395 rupees, and the 991 CW comes at 1595 bucks. I mean, it's just a small difference, but yeah, if you want that, that is a kind of comparison. As you can see, both of these come with 3 years of warranty, but this one has only 417 functions and this one has 540 plus functions. So you might be wondering, do I really need those 540 plus functions? Yes, but also a no. Will you? Alright, so this is our 991 CW. Okay, our ES Plus comes in this bubble wrap, and this is our 991 CW. So just to do a small comparison, this is what the ES Plus looks like and this is what the CW looks like. Obviously there is a huge design change in the case, which I like this one's more because I think this is so much more convenient. But trust me, over time this locking mechanism is gonna actually go based on your usage. This is just gonna slide off easily after over duration period of use. So which one of these calculators do you get? I mean, the price is kind of similar, just a small difference actually. This or this. Okay, so both of these have their pros and cons. Obviously, the CW is kind of standing up because of the functions, and this is kind of standing down because of that. And let me tell you, I am a third year mechanical engineering student, and I have been using this calculator since SEM 1. The problem is that after a point you actually start to get into bigger, higher numbers and more complicated problems, and this actually is not really capable of handling those kind of big numbers. It tends to lag, it becomes slow, and you kind of screw up. But on the other end, this guy right here handles it like a champ. It is complicated for sure, but then compared to this is better. But again, user friendly wise, I think this is a bit more easier to use initially. So either you could go for the kind of more complicated one and be used to this by the time you are in your higher semesters and be a pro in this, or be someone like me, go for the easier one to use initially, and then in the end you will have to upgrade from this to this for sure. So do think and take a very good decision. Like, I'll show an example. So on both my calculators I have put 1 by 2. So if I put 1 by 2 equals here, you can see 1 by 2, and if I click this button, just shows up at 0.5. But at the very same time, if I click it here, it does not show up. I'll have to click to format, then go to decimal, and then get it. But again, at the same time, we have a lot more options over here than that. So this is how things work. If I need to go in depth, there are so many things in contrast with these both. There are pros and cons here and there, but I guess you do know what the proper rough idea is about these two calculators. So do take your time and get a good calculator. Both of these are good calculators. None of these have any problems at all, but then when you get into very big complicated problems, this one just sticks out and does it well, and this one kind of lags there. So overall, this guy is the winner, but again, this is kind of like the rounder up. Take your time, take a good decision, and I really hope this video helped. Anyway, see you guys in another one. Peace.